People, Deluded, I'm back again. Now, purely just for fun, I've looked at the 2021 contracts and the contracts expiring at the end of the season, whenever that is. Obviously, with that, what I've said pending what FIFA are going to do in light of the epidemic. But I've looked at a couple of names and I thought, there's nothing else to do. I'll just go through them and give my opinions and, yeah, man, see if there's, just talk to you guys about nothing, really. So let's go on with some names. Pardon me. Willian's contract's obviously up now. I think he could get a Premier League move. He said his first option is to stay in London if can, but in England, a team might give him that. Maybe another team outside the top six, will give that opportunity. He's someone I think will get suitable offers abroad, and I think for Willian, he's won a decent amount of stuff now. He's done all right. It's about the length of the contract, which is very important, but it's about trying to secure his family's future beyond what he's obviously amassed as a result of being a footballer. His Chelsea teammate Pedro, I think he'll probably, again, I don't know this to be true, but I think he'll go back to Barcelona purely because, I could see him being a little squad player there. I know he wants to go and play football and he's been linked with clubs in America and there's an equal chance he could go there as well, but something just tells me he'll return home and just return home. I don't know that to be true. Two players I'd actually love to come to Arsenal, but I don't think it's going to happen, is DIOUF. I can't say his name, but he's not really been in the first team picture at PSG ever since, after it looked like he would be and being about under Tuchel for a bit. You're hearing a bit of that is in like... That's many people. Apologies for that. Is in light with the contracts. Is in light with him not signing a deal, and I think he's a lovely player. You've seen him at the Under-17s World Cup scoring lots of goals, Under-17s Euros. He's very good technically and he's someone that I believe can develop into a lovely player, and I would love him at Arsenal. His teammate Guy Kouassi, who's a man mountain despite he's only 17 in defence. You're hearing Leipzig want him. If Leipzig get him, he's purely for me going to follow in the footsteps of Upamecano and Canute, of being centre-halves that are going to make them a big payday. And I would really like him, and I think he could be a decent defender for Arsenal specifically one day. Obviously, this guy looks like he's going to Dortmund based on reports, but PSG's Munir at right back. If I could, I would, because I think right back, I know Suarez is there. If I could, I think he's decent. Fosu Mensah of Man United's available, and again, he might sign a new deal, you never know. He seems like the forgotten man of Man United. At one point, he seemed to be the next one up. You've got Tuchel there. You've obviously got a couple other players. United might elect to keep him, but maybe he wants to leave to get his career going again. Because did he not get our Dutch cap a few years ago? There's some ability. I don't know if he'll sign a new deal at Man United, but Angel Gomez, that's got to have alerted some teams, especially European teams. He's 19. He might be small, but he's very good technically. There's scope to develop him. Allegedly, he's been offered 30k a week at United. He's turned it down, maybe because of lack of first-team opportunities, and he's a bit frustrated. So that could alert teams that want to get the British players in, develop them, and then sell them back to the English for not inflated prices, but inflated prices. Because, Sandro was bought for however much they bought him from Watford. They let him go, and now if City would ever wanted him, it's 100 million if he doesn't complete what's expected to be his move to Manchester United, people. Again, I don't know too much about this player, but on the basis of he's been linked with Arsenal and Barcelona before, Leo Santos, the centre-half. Now, he's had a mad injury, but being 21, contract running out in September this year, is that something Arsenal could look at and say, we could develop him, or we could develop him to make a profit sort of thing? Because I think Arsenal need to do that as well. We need to get some players that are a bit bewildering, but we've loaned them out for a couple of years and we got him for 2 million, we made 20 and he's never made a first team appearance. It's all about these sort of things as well. Don't know if he'll be that, but I don't know if a club wants to do that. Jordan Ives' contract at Bournemouth is up at the end of the season, and boy, he will probably get a move, but with the form, with the way his career is at, I don't know who, he probably, I don't know where he'd go. I don't know, he'd probably get a promoted move, but you look at Jordan Ives, and what do you see? You don't see goals, you don't see assists, you don't think of any memorable moments. You just remember the fact that he's at Liverpool and he's got potential. I think he'll get, allegedly, because of that. He's got ability, but I can't really clearly see a team offering him stuff. I'm not going to say he's not going to be a professional footballer after this deal's done, because he will get a move, but will it be for the terms he wants? Will it be in the stipulations he wants? who knows? Will anyone truly? Because I think if you get him, it's more of a hit and hope. You're hoping that you can get him training well, and then it looks like you're a genius. I don't think you'd ever get him with the belief that he's going to be a main player for you, unless you know something I don't, which if you do, cool. Ryan Fraser will alert a lot of teams, and while I would take him, I wouldn't mind him for the squad, I would personally pass on that, people, purely because whether Arsenal can afford it or not, if we're going to clog up the wide positions even more, I personally would like us to try and go for someone, without naming names, that is better than what we have, and I don't necessarily think that's Fraser. I think he's a decent player, and I think he'd be a good option, like I said, people, but he hasn't had too many standout seasons, really. Again, last season he was very good, particularly in terms of assists, forgive me if I'm wrong, but whether it's because his headspace is in the right place or not, something he's alluded to, he hasn't quite been at his best for me. You've obviously got Kazawa at left back, which is a myth. Mertens is 31-32. I think Arsenal should stay clear, but you never know. You know, with Aubameyang leaving, I'd probably even entertain potentially entertain Cavani, people, if we could get him. But you're seeing Bokkers, you think of Cavani, you're thinking that's a big contract and that's a healthy length of contract if I was his owners. I mean, his agents. So that's something we probably won't be involved in. You know, we apparently wanted to sign him in 2013 and then a year after that, but we could probably finally complete a move for Mario Götze. He's a free agent. You know, he might sign a new deal. Giroud could always move back. I mean, you know, realistically, he's going for one last hurrah. Vertonghen's not signed a new deal at Spurs, and he might follow, you know, the Erikssens and potentially the Trippiers and experiencing something else. I could be wrong, but you've got Thiago Silva's contract running out at PSG again, which, you know, people might be alerted to. So who knows what's going to happen. And I do think it could be a weird summer, because you look at Bale. Bale's someone you want to say Zidane wants to get rid of, but he signed a new deal. With the corona stuff, we don't know how much that's going to impact finances. You've heard some people unrelated to this, but Barcelona have said they don't have money to really spend. But it's a weird one, man, because you see Marcelo could leave Madrid, Alaba could leave Munich, Griezmann's being linked with a move away from Barca. Neymar's probably his future is going to dominate a lot of the summer. You've got Ramos's future in there as well. You know, a lot of this, nothing is going to happen really and truly, but you'd imagine a big move is going to happen. Looking at the contracts until 2021, and a lot of these names, it burns me because I would love them, but it can't really happen for us. I think, you know, Tonali of Brescia, it looks like City are the front runners, central midfielder. Some people say he's a future Pirlo. He's a decent player. You know, they'd probably be resigned to sell him. Gio Reyna of Dortmund, he probably will sign in proven extended terms, but right now that's his deal. Elton Nori of Angers, an 18-year-old left back that I've made a video about before. You've got Gravenberch of Ajax, You've got Ryan Gravenberch of Ajax, whose contract's until 2021. Again, I believe when he turns 18, like Reyna, they'll sign for a longer period, and these teams might be waiting until that happens. Jude Bellingham of Birmingham, who seems to be going to Dortmund. Obviously, he's 17 or so. He's probably still technically on his first pro deal wages, if he has signed a pro deal. Despite being 16, 17 now, however old. He's someone I would love, but again, will our club go for it? I can't say his name, but Sangare of Toulouse. Toulouse look like they could be getting relegated. Apparently they want 15 mil. He's contracted until 2021. Box to box, 6 foot plus, fairly decent passer, something that Arsenal have been crying out for and wouldn't break the bank. Apparently Modric will stay at Real Madrid, people, but his contract's there. Theo Walcott's career is again going to be in limbo, because he's moved to Everton. Has he set the world alight? You know, he was obviously sold because we needed to raise funds and do other things, but there was, you know, this move could see him get back in the England side and prove Arsenal wrong. Have Arsenal been proven wrong for selling Iwobi or Everton or Walcott to Everton? No. Theo Walcott is in his 30s now, having been a 16-year-old. His contract's until 2021. Is he playing in the form that Everton are going to give him a new deal? Would it be wise for Everton to give a new deal? The answer is going to be no. So, again, I don't know what he will do in his career, but you've got him, you've got Modric, you've got Bolton, you've got Vidal, you've got Adolf Grach, the Uruguayan striker. Again, could he move to Europe? You've got Willy Bowley of Wolves. Again, could people be alerted to trying him to you know, in terms of contract length? Squad depth because of his contract length. You've got Johnny Evans of Leicester. He should probably stay because they're getting Champions League football, but what happens after that? Lee Chang Wang, hopefully I've said his name correctly, he's fairly decent forward of Salzburg. Again, I'm not saying come Prem, but is someone that will spark a move. Poland's Karol Linente, I can never say his name, Litetti. Karol Linente, I remember he used to play with Torreira for Sampdoria. He was linked with Arsenal years ago. Should be a free agent by then. Is he someone we could look at to help us in midfield, or anyone could look at really? Then after that, it's going to be a funny one because, like I said, people, there's a couple of, like even Mbappe contracted until 2022. So surely that needs to get addressed within the next 2 years. But you've got Bernat, you've got Damari Gray, Josh King, Mesut Ozil, Vasquez, technically Aubameyang and Saka, Diego Costa, Ramos, Dyer, Draxler, Higuain and Jesse Lingard, for example, all contracts also running out until 2021. So, yeah, man, there's a couple of names depending on what you'd want to do with the 2020s. To be fair, I'd be more on the 2021s because if I had to make a pick out of the 2020s, I'm only really trying to hear the PSG, man, in Kouassi, Adil, and obviously Meunier. Cavani, depending on what happens with us at strikers, to be fair with you. Not really trying to hear nothing. There's a couple other things you could do, but I'm not really trying to hear it. 2021, it's mainly the young players. Obviously, I'd love Tonali, Gio Reyna's a baller. Gravenberch, Jude Bellingham and Sangare, whatever his name is pronounced, would be my top options, people. But I've got nothing more to add, so I'm going to keep it moving. People, as usual, it's always a pleasure to speak to you lot. Deluded. I'm out.